Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns. And this is our campaign of the Ninefox Gambit RPG, a dystopian military sci-fi game based on the Machineries of Empire stories by Yoon Ha Lee. We're going to go around and say hi to our players and find out who they are and who they're playing. We will start once again with Pope. Hello.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World on the internets. It's great to be back with the Ninefox Gambit crew playing Vidona Duncan. He is overly eager about his job.
Yes. Absolutely. And now we will head over to Ewan. Hello.
Hi, I'm Ewan. I have nothing in particular to advertise. I play Nirai Tace, who is not so happy to be here right now. Kind of stuck between a Rahal and a hard place slash Vidona. And we'll see how this goes. Ready to do some mad science and keep from being, peeled apart by angry Vidona. Yeah.
I'm sure everything's fine. You haven't done anything heretical lately.
Of course
nothing
not.
at all.
Nothing.
Unfortunately, our fourth player, Nikki, it turns out he's not going to be able to join us, and due to real life stuff. But our thoughts are with him, and we hope he is well. I am going to be playing Rahal Graydon, who had a delightful time last time peeling back the layers of a person's mind, or attempting to, and finding there's a problem there. So it was a little bit of one. Don't know if it's heresy or just paranoia. Could be either. Not sure. But we're going to find out probably. And so going to look into that. Before we hand things over to our calendar, you may see us use safety tools from time to time, like we do with the other games on this channel. We're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game has very dark themes. It has the potential for player versus player conflict, depending on choices made, and may contain references to assimilation, brutality, atrocity, capitalism, colonialism, genocide, torture, hegemony, human sacrifice, and imperialism. If you would like to see the list, that's going to be coming up regularly in chat. You can also type !9 NINECW, and that will show up in the Twitch chat. It's very heavy stuff, so if you need to dip out at any point, absolutely no problem. We totally understand. Also, please remember we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. So without further ado, let us hand things over to our calendar. Hello.
Hello, I am Hollow. I am also the calendar, that which by all things in the Empire are measured and declared, and the opposite for declaring heretics. But anyway, last time you joined us, we introduced our player characters, and they had found themselves inside of a room on a ship in the Hexarchate. On that ship, there wasn't much going on or much they could be aware of, because they realized they had been quarantined off from the rest of the ship for calendrical purity reasons. In that, the characters got to know each other a bit, and we found out that that Vidona Duncan and Rahal Graydon really love their jobs, and Narai Taste really doesn't love them loving their jobs.
True.
After some smooth talking from large man on campus, Vidona Duncan, they received access to the rest of the ship, where in short order, some people found, some of our players found, or some of our characters found gum. Just, it's just gum. It's just gum that lets you make choices, maybe. Maybe it's probably fine. After realizing they needed to get some recreation, Vidona Duncan went to a dueling hall and found themselves in the middle of a potential political conflict. Vidona Duncan decided to slap the absolute shit out of someone as a honor champion, taking the loser for processing. This process, Kel are the military force inside of the Hexarchate. This Kel was going for out processing, and Rahal Graydon found some things. Spider webs and blockages and things that were resisting the eyes of the Scry Wolf. A very uncommon happenstance. From there, there was much measuring from Narai Taste, much looming support from Vidona Duncan. And in the end, they asked Narai Taste to take the gum and go analyze it. Turns out that analyzing gum is eating it immediately in your quarters when no one's there.
How better to analyze it when, most of the ship could be compromised. I mean, I gotta know what we're dealing with here, right? I mean, listen, my shirt says, "Stand back. I'm going to try science." It is not Nurai black and silver, but the feeling is there.
You've gone from 0 to Eddie Kim awfully fast.
This, Taste has hidden depths,
So, with that, we actually ended our game, our session with Narai Taste immediately popping the Mentos-like gum, the ovoid gum, into their mouths. Nothing bad will happen, surely.
Good about this decision.
We're having some, across the metaverse stares from Vidona Duncan. If only he knew. If only he knew. How disappointed would he be?
I don't want to find out.
First is the disappointment, then there comes the excitement.
Then my skin is removed. Yes. So we're gonna avoid that.
Vidona hands are rated H for heretics.
Good times.
Yeah, Shirley will be okay, but what about Taste? You are right, Hawkeye. You are absolutely right. So, with that, Taste, you had some gum. You put the gum in your mouth, dude.
Yeah, it was like most of a tube, right? There was most of a tube. I didn't take all of it. I just took some of it. Okay, yeah.
So
no,
when you say some, because some is more than one piece.
No, just one. I'm trying one. I'm just trying to understand how much I have left for further analysis later.
Oh, well, if we're thinking about basically a tube of Mentos, which I kind of base this all in my head, then you have about 5 fresh makers left.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Just kind of come home, pop the tube, pop one in my mouth, set it on the table, sit down in a chair, and just wait. I want to see what happens.
All right. So the first thing that happens, Noritex, is that you have a little nap. You know, you're going to sleep. You're having the gum. You really shouldn't sleep with gum in your mouth, but 5 pieces of heresy, yes. And it's exam day at Narai Academy Prime.
Oh no. Not again. No. I'm having a nightmare.
And you know, you're walking through, you've got your bag, and you walk into your cylindrical gate mechanics class. And they are getting ready to do a lecture on the mechanics specifically for the threshold winnower.
Yeah, this is not my favorite class.
Made famous some years ago by a enterprising Shuo seconded to the Kel by the name of Shuos Jadao, who used the threshold winnowers to kill some odd 1 million people at Hellspin Fortress.
Half of them his own side.
Half of them his own side.
Infamous throughout all of the factions.
Yes, everybody is wary of the name Shuos Jadao, even though he's been dead for some 200 years now.
Yeah.
But you walk into class, and you get ready to look down and get to your desk, and you are stark fucking naked.
Ah! Okay. I just I hold my bag in front of me. I'm like, okay, stream.
And you realize,
whatever I want.
but there's this moment where you can realize you can go with the flow and go, I don't actually have to care about this.
Yeah. Okay. So what if I just roll with it? Okay.
What if you just roll with it? Yeah, bare ass in seat. You sit down.
Chilly. Yeah. Exam day, right? Yeah.
And as you decide not to roll with it, people did look kind of starkly at you, but the second you decided not to worry about it, people started moving on with their day as if you were, it's whatever.
Okay, it's whatever. Never been great at this lucid dreaming stuff, but I'm feeling pretty good about this right now.
Yeah, you're in class, bare ass on chair, the lecture is being given, and you're asked to come speak in front of the class.
Okay, don't love this part. Just kind of close my eyes for a second, see if I can wake up. Usually there's like a crescendo of anxiety, and then I wake up or something, but it's just not happening this time.
You actually find your anxiety missing. You go your reactions go to reach for it, and it's not there.
Yeah, it's like a missing step or something. I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah, we're going up to the front of the class. Heck yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah, front of the class. You.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm having a great time.
And there's this point where maybe even the anxiety would come because you're breaking the social order. But
there you go.
But you can choose not to be bothered by that.
I'm just here, man. I'm happy to be here.
And people, try to look askance at you, but those that do, or they try to open their mouths are suddenly melty, gummy, almost like they've eaten a peanut butter sandwich with, too much peanut butter. Maybe a quadruple scoop of peanut butter. I might have direct experience in this as a person, having eaten a peanut butter sandwich that was filled with too much peanut butter, and I needed to rush to the fridge to get a bunch of milk or die. So,
yeah, you know what? Nobody can say nothing. Nobody can say shit today to me.
Yeah, nobody can say shit.
I'm king of the damn world.
You're king of the world. It's a great day. And yes, peanut butter measured in death units. I had 5 death units of peanut butter in my sandwich. Be it as it may, Narai tastes. As you are moving around and giving your lecture, a kaleidoscope of moths comes crawling into the classroom under the door. The moths are black and white. They slide across the floor, and when you look into the moths, they only reveal more fractals of possibilities inside of other moths. And when you open the door, when the doors open, they precede a beautiful man with excellent poise and grace, maybe a dancer's build. And with their gold and hazel eyes, one is different color than the other. You say, what are you doing? What is this?
I'm giving a lecture. Would you like to learn about threshold winnowers? Apparently.
And they seem perplexed at your answer. And the more they begin to ponder, they start to fade and then just kind of fade away.
That's right.
Into the...
Nobody can say nothing to me. Yeah. I'm like puffing out my chest. I'm pacing as I walk. This was never my favorite class in the waking world, but today I know everything. I am really good at this.
Yeah.
This is great.
As your lecture ends, the only thing that seems to happen is the only thing that seems to happen as you feel yourself getting ready to wake up is a small whisper. Any day could be like this, if only you choose. And you wake up.
That was weird. I guess I pick up the tube and I'm just like, man, they're gonna expect real analysis.
You're gonna expect me to do my job.
They're gonna expect me to do my dang job. Well, I'm gonna need access to the ship's facilities, which means I'm gonna go ask some fellow Nirai. Every Kel ship of a certain size will have its own complement of engineers, and those engineers are almost invariably Nirai. I've already gone down to the common room where the nerds tend to hang out, and had a couple of friendly-ish interactions there. So I think I'm gonna head back down there.
Awesome. You walk back down there, and the Nirai are all sitting around a table, discussing things. Some of their experiments are, kind of just running in the background. And there is a flash of red and gold at the table that seems out of place here.
That would be Kel colors, right?
Shuo's colors.
Shuo's colors. Yeah, shoot. Okay. Not great. I'm gonna just kind of continue to roll with it, just keeping that feeling going. That was a great feeling from my dream. Now little anxiety creeping in maybe, but I'm doing my job. This is what I'm here for. Vidona literally ordered me to do this. So, do I see the Nirai that I saw previously in the common room last time, who I saw pop a gum?
Yes, they are not sitting at the table. They are standing over the table while a Nirai and a Shuos play a game of Jengzai. Jengzai is a card game in the Hexarch universe that's played with a deck of tarot cards specifically made for the in-game universe, having all sorts of suits like gears and pawns and things of that nature.
Okay. I just kind of sidle up, and I watch for a second, but this isn't really what I'm here for. And do I have any idea who this Shuos is? Like that, like not there. There's a Shuos here.
There's a
There's like,
Shuos here.
they're kind of like, but my worst nightmare made manifest. Well, no, my other worst nightmare made manifest. But if the Shuos is out in the open, then it's easier to keep an eye on them and avoid them. So I'm going to just kind of nudge the Nirai that I spoke to before, and just kind of lean in and just kind of murmur like, "Hey, I've got some readings that I need you to look at really quick, sir."
Okay.
Could you come with me for a sec?
Sure. As he shrugs and backs away from the table.
All right. Asking in the common room is probably too overt. Could we just step out in the hallway for a second? I just kind of a bad.
I suppose. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna super sneakily just kind of glance around when the doors close. Are we alone in the hallway?
You are currently, thanks to variable layout, alone in the hallway.
All right. I just I kind of I take out my just what would I have? Could I say that I brought the briefcase with me? The
Sure.
briefcase of
Yeah.
instruments, portable instruments and stuff
Yeah.
from last time. I'm just gonna kind of I'm gonna kind of flip it open and just kind of hold it on my arm like a like a laptop basically. This is basically a laptop. And I'm just going to pull up some of the sine wave stuff from the interrogation, and I'm going to say, let's see, I believe that I've noticed a small calendrical variation, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts on this. And at the same time, in my augment, I'm going to PM this guy, assuming that his augment is up and running, which it was as soon as he was awake. I'm going to PM him, and I'm going to say, I have some gum in my pocket, and I need to ask you some questions about it.
He looks down at your readings. He kind of takes your slate and says, "Okay, well, it looks like here you have a. It looks like that you have actually a double calendrical wave here, just at this formant right here." And he marks it. I wouldn't call this a spike, but it's like something is. I mean, that sounds silly. It's like something else is mimicking the calendar.
What would the point be?
Social experiments from the Ondon.
Maybe. I was hoping maybe you knew of something that had been cleared that could explain this, so I can take these readings back to the Vidona who has ordered me to analyze them.
Nothing concrete, and you know that Vidona love concretions and not abstractions, so.
Well, I can present my preliminary findings, but I can't possibly speak to what they mean yet. I believe further readings may be necessary.
Okay. Do you want me to contact this Vidona with anything, or?
Well, could I my name's Tace, by the way. I didn't really I should have started with that. I'm a little awkward,
Yeah.
you know, it's a
Yeah, my
thing.
name I'm Narai. I am Narai Lan.
Well, hi Lon. Do you mind if I call you later maybe and discuss this, or maybe we could meet, you know, get some meal get a meal together or something and we could talk about this?
Sure. We can do
Do
that.
you is there someone else who might be a specialist? You know, more. I'm you know kind of working in generalities here. Is there someone else that might be able to lend some expert opinion?
Unfortunately, the only other expert I would know would be our seconded Shuos engineer.
Oh, that's interesting. That's the person in there.
Yeah, that's Shuos Ko.
Co. All right. Well, do you do you trust their credentials?
I mean, I trust that they will give you an answer. I don't know if I trust where them giving you an answer will go after they give you an answer.
Hmm. All right. Well, then maybe we keep Co on the back burner for now. Well, thank you for your second opinion. I just kind of needed a
Sure.
sanity check here.
Sure.
I PM them again, like like I really need to know what this stuff is.
You get a PM back with a scrambled like username
Okay.
that says it's a muscle relaxant. The mind is a muscle.
Okay. I just PM them back like a little thumbs up or whatever. Um, that sounds like, it just, to myself, I'm just like, okay, that sounds like a thing that I can take back. I do probably need to run this through some instruments at some point. I'll do you, is there a laboratory suite that I could pick up some extra processing power and
Yeah, you would
do
be
some
able to.
analysis?
You could connect to the grid from there, and probably get some extra processing power from there. The Kel aren't doing drills right now, so this would probably be the best time. Well, at least for the next as they like obviously are checking their augment for the next 12 hours. Got a
All right.
12-hour window to do anything in there.
Okay. Well, let me, I suppose, start some analysis running, and then I will report back to the people that I am apparently teamed with. I just say this kind of bleakly, no, like no casting aspersions on them or anything, but any Nirai would know that this is not a great situation to be in.
Well, the Narai also would know about just we're Narai. We get shit assignments sometimes.
Yeah, we're doing our job. Doing our job. We're both doing our jobs. Doing it. So okay. So I'll head to this laboratory suite wherever this is if they can give me directions or even walk me there.
Sure. As you do that, it's what passes for morning on the ship, Fedona Duncan.
Duncan is up, doing stretches.
Health is important.
Health is vitally important. Yeah, doing morning stretches. Then just sort of using augment access to see, okay, what are the duty rosters for today? Where is everybody and who is everybody?
Well, see here, you have some Garden Kel who you have a regiment of Garden Kel who are on ship. They have a commander. They are currently doing like cleaning currently before drill, so that'll be the next 12 hours of like that almost unnecessary like level of military cleaning where you're just kind of cleaning for routine's sake.
Yes. Again, busy hands are good hands. So, no, they need something to focus on. And while I definitely want to investigate Kel further, considering that the accusation of a hawk fucker was in the air, that's not my overall concern. That is a future me problem. The current me problem is this gum thing.
Gum, yeah.
So like I am not targeting the command structure yet. Just making note of them. And then what I'm most curious about is who are the quartermasters aboard this vessel?
Well, that's an interesting question because there are for some reason 2 quartermasters, but it's a matter of paperwork. Well, you can tell it's a matter of paperwork. Like one quartermaster has been promoted while the other one has been demoted, but the processing has not gone through for the one who was demoted yet to Kel Command, and their rank, their given title cannot be rescinded until Kel Command confirms the paperwork.
I see. So there is some contention over a specific office.
Yes.
Well, before I go poking directly at the quartermaster, let's do the detective work and go, okay, so I want to bring up why this current Kel and their paperwork, why they're being demoted. I want to know the specific instances that has brought about this request for a position change.
So the current Kel are both lieutenants, which is about time where it's about that point in Kel hierarchy where you start to get staff positions. You might not be on the bridge or in the command the command staff, but you still may have positions aboard the ship. And you don't see anything directly as to why this Kel was demoted. However, a brief glance shows that one Kel, the one who was promoted, has some ties, some familial ties to the Raw Hall.
Okay, we're going to dig a little bit further. I want to see, is this an opportunistic? Is this nepotistic? Like what has brought this individual up?
This has the potential to, at least from your cursory like overlook, has the potential to look like nepotism.
I see.
Which the Kel deeply espouse they hate, but in practice,
It happens.
It happens all the time because the command structure can become ever close, especially with the Kel hive mind, as they all sort of link together and think each other's thoughts from day to day.
Okay, so
Back at Kel Command.
jealousy breeds heresy. Okay. So this is a problem. This is a series of problems. I'm just going to with the augment, take a lot of the documentation, put it together onto a file, and then I'm just going to send it to Rahal Grady, going, I haven't necessarily found the link of the gum, but I may have found the inciting incident as to how it got on board. Looks like there is a promotion-demotion dispute within the Kel. the promotion has ties to the hall. I do not necessarily want to get involved in inter-party politics. That is not my area of expertise. However, I would take it as a favor if you could further investigate as to this one Mikkel's connections to the hall.
Good. Certainly.
Thank you. And now it's time for breakfast to make everyone feel awkward.
Awkward breakfast. As Vidona Duncan goes to awkward breakfast, Rahal Graydon, you've received this message from your friendly local Vidona.
Yes. I have been trying to, if I have access to it, and I don't know if I do or not. Hopefully I do. Because I don't know how sequestered we've been. This morning I've been trying to sort of look at the big picture. I don't know the terminology here exactly, but my thought is poring over sort of my copy of the calendar versus this ship's copy of the calendar and see if there have been any jarring or unusual sort of differences.
The only difference that you have to the ship's calendar is that the Vidona have added a new remembrance 2 months from now.
So in 2 months they have this thing coming up then, huh?
Yes, in 2 months there's this thing coming up that was not on your calendar because you had been sequestered from the grid for a while. So there is a non-update going on from between your calendar and their calendar.
Interesting. Okay. I'm not going to assume that that's incredibly significant, but out of curiosity, well, actually, hang on. You say it's a couple of months from now?
Yep. 2 months.
Is that during the, is that one of the Vidona months?
I will just double check for you because I want to be absolutely sure.
Brax, hey, thanks for the sub. Thanks very much. Thanks. Yay.
So here is the month of the wolf, and 2 months from now. Why is this getting away from me? Did I not write it down?
It's all the heresy, that's why.
The heresy is making everything topsy-turvy.
It is the month of the fox.
It's a Shuos month.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine. So it's this is a Vidona observance during a Shuos month?
Yeah, well, the Vidona have scheduled a new observance during this Shuos month.
Okay. Does it say the nature of the observance?
Yes, it is the remembrance of scoured heretics.
Interesting. Okay. Was a scouring the thing that we saw demonstrated last night, or was that or yesterday?
That was the remembrance of stillborn friendships.
Yes. But I mean, were they doing a scouring?
They were not doing a scouring. What they were doing was bloodletting, and letting bloodletting from extreme facial fissures and allowing that blood to preternaturally weep to their feet and wash over them before that blood was then lit aflame, going backwards into their faces, up as a trail, almost like a comical. Like if this was a comedy, it would be like, you know, the oil lighting on fire and going all the way up to back to their faces.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Scouring sounds like it uses pressurized salt.
So is that? So am I correct in assuming that's the kind of scouring they're talking about, an actual literal scouring, or is it?
Yes. What they are going to be doing is the Vidona have requisitioned salt whips. So think of cat of nine tails, but every barb is actually a salt crystal.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah. So there will be actual scouring during the remembrance of scoured hair. Okay, interesting. Okay, so they've decided. Does it say when that update happened?
That update happened 3 days ago.
Okay. I only ask this. I don't know if it's relevant or not, but I just want to make note of it for when I'm comparing dates of things later. Okay. So I have been asked by Vidona Duncan to check in about this Kel being. Is it promoted or transferred?
One's being promoted, one's being demoted. I'm asking you to look into the one who's being promoted's ties to the Rahal.
Right. And the one who's being who's the one who's being promoted? Is it the one we questioned, or is it a different one?
No, it's these are two completely new to you, Kel.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. Okay, and this is just a discrepancy that Duncan found.
Yes, seems to potentially have nothing to do with your gum investigation, but it could bear fruit. So, so the Vidona thinks.
What is the name of the Kel that was promoted? Do we know?
Yes, their name is. Scroll down. Their name is Kel Humphrey.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the one that's being promoted.
All right. Did it specify the kind of tie they have to the Rahal, or is it just noted that they have a tie to the Rahal?
Well, as a Rahal, now you have access to the grid, so get ready. This person on their father's side, on their second father's side, they are from a triptych of fathers.
Okay.
They have, because people can gene donate to have children in the Hexarchate, so they have three fathers. Their second father, second in position on the contract, is a Rahal.
Okay.
And that Rahal is who is named Rahal Fowler. And they had a marriage contract with Kel Callisto.
Okay.
There was a recent extension to that contract for another 10 years.
Oh.
Okay. And Kel Callisto is the granddaughter of Andin Maladano.
Okay.
Yeah, Andin Maladano is sort of a festival coordinator under the Rahal. Under the Andin Hexarch.
Okay, interesting.
All right, you got that?
I think so.
Okay.
Did it if since I'm looking, I imagine I'm just sort of on my on my augment, I'm looking up, going through files as I see them. Do we have information about who? Do we have information about Rahul Fowler's position? Who he is? What his job is? What his rank is?
Yes, Rahal Fowler is the doctrine officer to the Nexus Fortress of Pearled Hopes. A Nexus Fortress is a giant place in Hexarchet space that broadcasts and amplifies the calendar across the Hexarchet. There are many Nexus Fortresses. This is one of many.
Ah. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, the thing is, the interesting thing here, from what this is telling me, is that, I mean, being a doctrine office to a Nexus Fortress is important, but at the same time, being tied as the granddaughter of the festival coordinator for the Anden Hexarch also sounds like that might even be. What does it say? What position Kel Callisto has?
Kel Callisto is a Banner Moth commander. They were promoted 2 years ago to low general.
Low general. So this is opening up a very weird chain of possible
ultra nepotism. Yes.
Yeah. But it's weird that the nepo chain appears to be coming through the other direction. That's the funny part. Because when so this forgive me as I ask a bunch of technical questions about how this whole thing works.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
This contract that was just extended for another 10 years. Who has to approve that?
The other party, so the Kel would.
Okay. And so the one requesting would have been then Rahal Fowler.
Yes.
Okay. Huh. This contract. It's mostly just for the now. I'm going to ask a very basic question.
No, you're fine.
I'm afraid I am not familiar. Familiar with
weird in this universe. It's very weird and complicated and bureaucratic.
I have to ask a very basic question that, unfortunately, I am not familiar with in this universe. Where do babies come from?
Well, most babies are creche or vat born. Natural births are for savages.
Right.
Typically, some people do still do natural births on some worlds, but you'd never hear of it on a station or a ship.
Right. Okay. So most births then are what we might think of as I'm trying to think of a better word for this, but strategic. I imagine.
Sometimes they are strategic.
Because it's on the one hand, I figure that that's the case more often than because they're planned, usually. Then
they are planned.
I would say.
Sometimes people just ask for birthing rights and donor rights, and then that kid and that kid, the resulting child, may have nothing to do with any of the other parents. And this is regardless of gender, because anyone can donate genetic material, even in multiples of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people can say, we all want to mix our stuff up to make a baby.
Okay. And it's the thing that is throwing me here a little bit is that the contract has a duration. So
many do.
I'm wondering if it's so it's not a one and done thing where they take the genetic material. It's like, what does it mean? Does it mean like over a 10-year period? It's like we have the...
No, the marriage contract can actually be separate from birthing, but most marriage contracts can have a birthing clause in them or a spawn clause, depending on what you have going on. However, marriage contracts don't last lifelong. They are actually sometimes you can renegotiate in the middle of the term, or some people who can't find a good bureaucrat will very miserably wait out their term until it's done and then move on to their next partner.
I see. Okay.
Some people don't use them at all.
Is this this particular contract? Is this an exclusive marriage contract, or are there other partners?
It is an exclusive marriage contract. So in this contract for the next 10 years, these two would be absolutely exclusive. There is a birthing clause. You would know that because of your Rahal connections to the grid. So neither one, I mean, they are in their 50s, which is not, nowhere near old for the Hexarchy. People can live to 150 years old,
Okay. So he is the he's the second father on the list.
He's the second father on the list for this particular child, but he has no other children of his own, and he is not first position in any of the relationships he has been in.
I see. So, and in this relationship, if it's exclusive, so it's there. So he's second position, I assume.
In this contract, he'd be first position.
Oh, so this is his first time then being first position.
Yes.
On the contract. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yes. Think hierarchical polyamory. Not everyone ascribes to it. Some people do it. It's kind of whatever. But these people are doing a very hierarchical thing, and he has never been in first position in any of his contracts. This would be an exclusive heir of his.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, I guess the question is, how far back do I want to go to try to start working out where this chain starts? Because this did Duncan specify what the curious thing was, or was it just that he happened to notice that there was an unexpected promotion and a demotion to
the ship has 2 quartermasters right now.
Okay.
And it's due to this promotion demotion.
Gotcha.
There's nothing in the record of the demotee, and the only thing that I can find to possibly merit this Kel's promotion is his ties outside of the Kel.
Now, what you are seeing, funny enough, is that his promotion orders were expedited. So normally, one thing will go through, then the promotion would happen. But we are stuck in this conundrum of 2 people because someone got their paperwork pushed through while someone is going through the normal chains, and we are in waiting mode for the person getting a demotion.
I see. And this was when did it happen? The beginning of the promotion,
the promotion was sent through and verified by Kel Command 1 week ago.
1 week ago. Huh. Sorry, I'm
All
Getting
good.
my stuff together. So who promoted him?
Let's see here. The person who signed off on the promotion documentation would be one Kel Scarlet. That would be Commander Kel Scarlet.
Okay, Kel Commander. So it's Kel Scarlet. Promoted Humphrey. And the paperwork for the other demotion hasn't gone through yet, so I assume there's no information about I assume there's not much as much of a paper trail about the one being demoted.
No, it's just like, there was the requisite announcement, and now they have sent off the paperwork to Kel Command. Kel Command has to receive that paperwork, and then they have to verify that paperwork and then send back the verification of the demotion, so that their insignia on their uniform, because they have sort of like smart clothing, would take effect and therefore would not be of that particular thing.
Okay. Is Kel Scarlet on this ship or at Kel Command?
Kel Scarlet is on this ship.
Okay. Just want to make sure I got this straight. All right. So now we're going to cross-reference. Kel Scarlet and Kel Callisto and Kel Scarlet and Rahal Fowler. Because I want to see if there are any records of any major interactions that we're aware of. If I can do that, can I do a search for that?
Sure. They are all children of Rahal Fowler.
Okay, hang on. So, when you say they are all children of Rahal Fowler,
it was separated by numbers of years, but yes, all of them.
It's Kel Scarlet, Kel Humphrey, and anyone else? Or
let's see here. You were cross-referencing just the two of them. Yeah, they're both children of Rahal Fowler.
Kel Scarlet and Kel Humphrey are both children of Rahal Fowler.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This is becoming clear. So, because for a moment I thought, because I was also trying to cross-reference Kel Callisto, and I assume that was
yes. Kel Callisto's not, but just
those
two
because
are children,
they're the married. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So okay. So this is good to know.
The Kel Callisto has no direct connection to them except through Rahal Fowler that you can see.
Yeah. All right. So that actually, it's making okay. So back on the Rahal side, things are starting to make more sense a little bit. So what? Let's see. So what we have on Rahal Fowler thus far. Doctrine officer to a Nexus Fortress of Pearled Hopes. What information do we have on the Nexus Fortress of Pearled Hopes? In general,
the Nexus Fortress of Pearled Hopes is a Nexus Fortress. It sits on the outskirts. It is closest to the Hafen, HAFN. They are a group of heretics. They live in their own part of space, but they are considered a great enemy of the Hexarchate. One of the big ones. They have their own ships, their own technology, that sort of thing.
Oh boy!
But that fortress sits on the edge of Hexarchate space and places the calendar inward.
When you say places the calendar inward, I'm sorry. What do you mean by that?
Nexus Fortresses broadcast the calendar because they're all repeaters, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is specifically designed to basically create the boundary of Hexarched space. So it's kind of like looking at a corner of Hexarched
corner
space.
of a fence.
Yeah, it's a corner of a fence over there. Yeah.
All right. I'm very concerned now.
I'm glad you're concerned.
Again, these are things that might be fine, but also, do we have a record? Do I have access to a record? Oh, Jesus. Of any major within the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the last couple of weeks to a month. Maybe I don't want to go back too far because then I'll just be staring at my augment forever. But is there? I'm trying to sift through if there's anything. If there have been any major recorded requests, movements, or transfers around the Nexus Fortress of Pearled Hopes.
Yes. There have been two. I will give. So there was a brigadier general who was transferred to a cinder moth, a bigger class of moth. That brigadier general's name is Kel Emil.
Okay.
And if you haven't picked up the pattern, Kel Emil is a child of Rahul Fowler.
I wondered.
Right? And a staff sergeant by the name of Kel Orla.
Let me guess.
They may be a child of Rahul Fowler.
was recently basically promoted there? Is that what we're looking at, or transferred, or
direct so both of them were direct transfer promotions. Like they were promoted into a suddenly vacant spot on each of these ships.
Okay. All right. Well. Oh, is it the same ship? The same onto the Cinder Moth? Was that who the staff sergeant was?
A Cinder Moth and a Cinder Moth and then a Banner Moth.
And a Banner Moth. Okay.
So
yes.
two big ships, pivotal ships.
Yeah. That's great. Okay. So let's see. Noting those ships' names and then noting the okay.
The banner. Let's see. The Cinder Moth's name is the Unspoken Law.
Oh, good. Yes. Unspoken Law. That's the Banner Moth you said, or the Cinder Moth?
That's the Cinder Moth. The Unspoken Law.
Cinder Moth. Okay.
Jim, your shoulder devil here would like you to note that there's all these positions that have opened up. How did they open up?
This is a good question. I'm going to assume the paperwork is still going through for it.
Oh man, that's so weird. It totally is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. The Cinder Moth was the Unspoken Law. Do we have the name of the Banner Moth?
Yes, the Banner Moth is called Patterns. It's called 10 Pattern Stone Strike.
Great name. Actually. I love that.
I am back and exalted already.
Okay. So here's the thing, though. The thing is, thus far, all we've really uncovered is nepotism. There isn't really
So far, it's nepotism. Just so
However, however, my shoulder devil has just informed me of something that I also have to track down. And I'm going to start just on this ship, since I had assumed this was unimportant, but perhaps it's not. Do we have the name of the... do we have the name of... hang on, I want to get this right here. Let me see here. Do we have the name of the other quartermaster that is being demoted?
Yes. Your other quartermaster who is being demoted, let's see here, is come on. Is let's see here. Oh yeah, here is Kel Constance.
Okay. Any reports of any, and I'm just looking for even the most mundane, like this person woke up this morning or this person reported for duty this morning.
I mean, yeah, they've reported for duty. They are still doing their job because they have not been officially, they've received notice, but they have not, the demotion hasn't started yet. So they're still doing their job.
They're still doing their job here in the ship because the demotion hasn't started yet. Interesting. Okay. All right. So actually then, so I've uncovered something that is probably an illegal activity. I don't think this is, I don't, it's not necessarily heretical, although the positioning of the Nexus Fortress does worry me slightly. So I'm going to need to now, well, I'm going to have to ask someone to look for to see if they happen to look over a thing and see if they notice any calendrical fluctuations, if we can get that data. I'm curious if is that data about the sine wave, I'm using the wrong term probably, of the calendar around the Nexus Fortress, is that material that is that data that's accessible? Do I have to call someone to have them send it to us, or how would that work?
You'd have to charm somebody of higher rank to get it to you, because that kind of stuff is inaccessible at your rank.
Understood. Okay. So perhaps let's not dive fully into that yet, but there's a possibility. So, Rahal Fowler. Aside from the marriage contract, do we have any other information about Rahal Fowler's history?
I mean, they seem to have a sterling record as a doctrine officer. They have overseen many unfortunate Kel out processings. He is renowned for detecting crash hawks, which are Kel who formation instinct does not take. But funny thing, his first contracted partner is a Narai psych surgeon.
Okay, a psych surgeon would be just someone who...
They would be able to, say, change someone's personality potentially, or erase memories. You would probably call them for a memory wipe usually, if you needed that sort of thing. They also are the people who inject formation instinct into the Kel, or at least someone on some. That is what the person would do if when they do it.
Do we have the name of that of the psych surgeon?
Yes, they are Narai Wen.
Narai Wen.
Yeah.
Hang on. Psych surgeon Rahal Fowler's first partner?
Yes.
They have any kids?
They have two kids. Both of them are Narai, stationed on this ship and the Unspoken Law.
Stationed on this ship.
Well,
Who's
one is
Ryan?
stationed on this ship, and the other one's
Yeah.
stationed on the Unspoken Law.
I'm gonna get. I
Which
want to
one's the
make
one
a
on This
guess.
ship.
I'm gonna make a guess, real quick, just in case. The Narai on this ship. This is Jim making a guess, actually, because only Jim has this information right now.
Sure.
But is the name of the Narai Lon by any chance the one that's stationed on this ship?
It might be. It might be.
Might
Yeah. It
Yeah.
might be. Yes, Narai Lon might have a daddy who might be Rahal Fowler.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'm gonna assume I see, but well, I'd have looked for the information as to who that is on this ship, obviously, so that I can see. And it's like, lo and behold, there that is. That's great. That's great. I think that, and again, this is so good to know. Good to know. I think that I think we're definitely okay. That's a name of someone to look into who's on this ship. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, sure. Let's pull up Lon's service record. Were they promoted at all recently?
I mean, Narai Lon has a sterling record. They've only ever been promoted during like actual Narai promotion cycles. They are never been promoted off cycle.
Gotcha. Okay.
They graduated top of their class at Narai Academy.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing in their record that's really like damning is like, easily bored, bit of a slacker, but still gets the job done.
Of course. Okay. Let's see. I have almost all the information I want right this moment. But I am gonna need to let me see here. About Narai Wen. Is there are there details? Is Narai Wen still operating? And did specify where Narayan is?
Narai Wen operates out of the Fortress of Pearl Hopes at their satellite Narai Academy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are there and is there any other sort of notes on their record of things that they've been working on doing recently, or any papers they've published about?
They've published several papers. They have published gate mechanics. They've also published a children's book to talk about gate mechanics. Gate mechanics and you, like, baby's first special book, that sort of thing.
It's good to start learning that early.
It was peer reviewed by Tu Vidona and was given excellent marks.
Mm-hmm. And just so that I can make sure that I've done the appropriate search. This is where it's I have to be careful about doing this next search.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you something.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is it a thing? Does the Hexarchate keep our Google history?
Well, yes. I mean, yes, they do. Now, whether you get flagged for your Google history, well, I mean, that's all up to people like you and your friend Duncan over there.
That's fair. That's fair. Because
if you don't want to keep your Google history, call a Shuos. The price of a Shuos is
fair.
But the price of a Shuos' help is a Shuos' help.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's always the problem. Actually, you know what? No, I should be fine. Looking at their major publications, I'm not seeing anything that they have that indicated anything that they mentioned regarding that they have come out with regarding the Hafen.
No. They have an outstanding request for Hafen ships because they want to know what makes them tick.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Outstanding. For how long?
It's been about 30 years at this point. Like, bring me an intact Hafen ship, which people can't seem to get because they blow up during capture sometimes, or the Keller are a little too zealous and they just.
Okay. All right. I don't have anything yet that suggests actual heresy. I just have some kind of web of hella illegal activity that could be heretical, depending on what it is that they're trying to conceal with this web that they're creating. Okay, so I've got a working hypothesis.
Final note is that the Narai you just looked into was attached to the Narai Hexarch's office until 10 years ago.
Until 10 years ago.
Yes.
What happened?
Can I? No. There are a couple of things. Does it say if they then immediately transferred to? Did they then immediately transfer to the station to the
they
Nexus
received
station, or
they received a distinguished officer award, and this was their posting of choice.
They chose the
distinct.
They chose to be here.
They chose to be there at the Nexus station. What was the? Is there a record of the timing of the contract of the marriage contract they had with Fowler?
It ended 10 weeks before their posting to the fortress.
Yep. Okay.
I had a blast just kind of putting all this down, like this.
Red yarn and thumbtacks and like.
Oh yeah, no, this is great.
This is a Pepe Sylvia board.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So I'm going to put. I'm gonna on my my little virtual whiteboard. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the little family tree.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm gonna draw connections to the Nexus Fortress and to Narai Wen. And I'm going to basically I'm gonna put links to the data and basically put just the information about what Narai Wen was doing, and the information about proximity with Rahal Fowler and the family tree and all that. And I'm going to ping Duncan.
And
I have an interesting.
Sushi is the best thing for breakfast.
And yes, that's right. Breakfast. I need to do that. I have. Are you still down in the cafeteria?
I was just finishing up. What,
All right.
what can I help you with?
I think I'm going to come down and meet you, if I may. If you've got a little, do you have a little time?
Oh, for you, certainly.
Excellent. I've got a tale to tell you, and I'm going to send you the notes on it now. And
Okay.
I'm going to send you my whiteboard, and basically we'll say found a possible source for the gum, maybe, or well, how it works, perhaps. I'll be there shortly.
As he's going through, he's sitting in the he was about to excuse himself from the mess hall, but now he's sitting back down, and he's looking through the notes in his augment, and just lets out the most disturbing giggle in the chow hall.
all of the Kel who are around and not sitting at like high table are just like,
Don't love that.
Oh, this is delightful.
somebody's like, I guess he really likes the crumpets.
Now, Hollow,
Yes.
for again, I am new to this setting, to this.
Absolutely. I am here to guide you.
Now, I would figure I would have, as of Vidona superiors.
You do.
Excellent. I am going to take all of this data, all of the preliminary filings, put it together into a nice little document, and just going to go, this is not an indictment of any person contained within this file. However, there are an awful lot of coincidences contained within this file. And as was taught to me, as I'm certain was taught to you for as long as the Hexarchy has existed, coincidences do not exist. I would like you to take a look over these preliminary findings and advise.
All right.
And
You
just send it to my superiors.
Yep, you will probably because of it having to hit like a quantum buoy, you'll probably get something back in a few hours.
Yeah.
At a few hours at the earliest.
It's like, I see this. This is all vastly above my pay grade. But at the same time, my hands are getting so itchy. And I just want, someone who is above, more experienced than myself, to tell me to either let my hands do some work or to cool my jets.
Sure.
So there's that, and I just wait for Graydon to come on by, as I have probably now cleared this entire table.
Yeah, nobody wants to sit with you. You're a little creepy. Just giggling about the crumpets on your plate, clearly.
Clearly, that is what is bringing me joy.
Yeah, the crumpets and the pickled vegetables served with every meal.
For some apparent reason, there's a tiny mountain of pickled veg that has just acquired on his plate. As Graydon comes in, he is just absent-mindedly chowing down, obviously, like eyes kind of glazed over as he's like looking through his augment, obviously, and just like taking everything that is sent and just like put a little small like post-it notes on all these things of possible heresies that they are can be theoretically convicted of for each individual.
I'm sitting down with my morning gruel. and pickled vegetables. And have you had a chance to look over the data?
So much. It's delightful.
Yes, curious what you think.
I have already sent a brief to my superiors.
Ah,
This is vast.
yep.
So, just again, random thoughts. So you have a possible psi surgeon with a noted and honorable, distinguished record, having a post to a Nexus fortress, one with
Yes.
capable facilities,
Yes.
and someone with such distinguished service in the matters of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And another individual who has children in many places.
Yes.
And this gum being distributed.
Mm.
One that makes one resistant to scrying.
Yes, it would so appear. Well, don't know if it's the gum doing it exactly, but
Oh, I am certain there is something within the gum.
there's definitely it's related to it certainly.
The gum
need
is
to-
a heretical delivery system.
Yeah, certainly.
They have made a biological agent.
Yeah, it's a remarkable advance. Unfortunately, it seems to be manifesting this way. It's troubling.
And the fact that Tace referred that there was a coincidental sine wave. So it would be, unless one was deliberately looking, almost undetectable.
Indeed. I've not questioned anyone directly about this yet. I'm possibly need to look into a few more ties, but
Yes.
I think that the more I look, the more ties there appear to be. And I need to kick some questions up up our own chain. Yes, pointing to his symbol.
Yes, most certainly. Though, if at all possible in kicking things up, I would actually consult with Tace and see if there is a way to make your message as it is distributed amongst the directional buoy in such a way that it does not network with anything that could go back to that specific nexus.
Yes, that's probably a good idea. It's probably certainly. I don't know why I suddenly have become a New Englander.
Because this isn't like Cthulhian horror levels of BS.
It's the Eldritch horror.
I mean, you do know that Connecticut is the eyes of the Commonwealth, right?
You didn't think you were going to be in a sci-fi noir, but congratulations, you are in a sci-fi noir.
Congratulations.
It seems so. Right. Let me get back to my center with Graydon as I was thinking of him. Right. So I imagine then, we should. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I'm just going to do a few more searches, just a little bit locally, and I think that'll just to see if there's See if we just cross-reference a few things just to be on the safe side. But yeah, there's this thing is affecting 3 ships already, one of which we're currently on. So
Mhm.
it's
Indeed.
a thing to
I would
consider.
also recommend possibly swinging by the medical bay and reading the temperature on those the chief medical officer's staff, and maybe see what their family trees have within them. Because
Yes,
if
well.
one has to relieve a commanding officer of duty, that is typically something done by the medical first officer.
I'm just going to do a quick, while we're talking, I'm going to do another quick cross-reference search. Because I'm now trying to do a sort of a catch-all thing here, where hopefully we'll see. What we're cross-referencing is what is the name of this ship again? Do I have that?
The Shattered Skies. Or is that the one we're on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What grade of moth is it?
This is also a banner moth.
Also a banner moth. I'm going to do a cross-reference between Rahal Fowler and Shattered Skies, just to see if it happens to pick up any of the anyone else that might be on board that might be this person's offspring. I'm going to try to do a general search, and hopefully I won't have to go person by person, but we'll see.
All right. So currently, the only people connected filially to Rahal Fowler are your Narai and this new person, this new quartermaster.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, yeah. Well, it looks like we just have as far as I can tell, just from a quick search here, it looks like the only familial connection we have are the 2 that I've already shown you. Aboard this ship.
That's somewhat reassuring.
I'm gonna, yeah. And I am going to secondarily, I'm going to check Jim knows this, but Graydon will now looking. Can I see that the doctrine officer aboard this ship is that Rahal Lohan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Quick cross-reference search of what I have available. Is there anything that has? Is there a cross-reference for Lahan and Fowler? Is there anything that that we know, or that there's a record of additionally that pings in addition to it just being within Rahal, obviously.
Oh man, I hope you're ready again, Jim.
Oh boy.
All right. So the Rahal you are searching is a member of a rival family, internal family faction within the Rahal.
An internal family faction within the Rahal.
Yes, they all come from the same planet. Like all of the people from this particular line of Rahal.
Okay. This line coming from one planet. Okay.
Members of his family who failed to enter the Raw Hall Academy are processed as heretics.
Wow. Okay.
This family came from a particular. This planet was a particular heretical hotspot until it was pacified by the Hexarchate, and this family pledged itself to the Hexarchate, its laws, the calendar, so wholeheartedly that they pledged themselves to the Rahal in this very, very lockstep kind of way.
Okay.
So those people who fail to actually enter and become Rahal are declared heretics and then processed as such
Okay.
to show their loyalty to the Hexarchate.
Right. Okay.
This family has been petitioning for more access to the Rahal Hexarch because they feel they have done their time. They have not been allowed to hold any actual positions within the Rahal faction, but they have been petitioning for a long time for closer ties to the Hexarchate, to the Hexarch of the Rahal.
Gotcha.
However, the Fowler's family, his extended family, has placed them under ordeal to prove their worth to the Rahal. This is all like internal Rahal politics. You're kind of like getting the Rahal blotter here about this.
Yeah.
Currently, they are being overseen by a Shuos as an impartial party by one Shuos Co.
Ooh,
Wait.
okay. Yeah.
Jim doesn't know this yet. Okay. Oh no. But he's gonna in a second. Right. Jim knows this, but Graydon doesn't yet. But he's gonna in a second. So this family, by the way, just so that we're clear, all these Rahal that come from this planet. Do we have the name of the family? Do we have the family name?
Well, the family name before they take on to before they take on the Rahal name is Jensen.
Jensen. Okay. Good. Jensen is the family name. And they all come from this one planet.
Yes, from the planet Vis is actually in on the other side of the Hexarchate at the Fortress of Scattered Needles, which is also a border fortress on the other side of the Hexarchate, though.
So they're on the other side of the Hexarchate. They're by the Fortress of Scattered Needles, which is a very significant place.
So 2 border posts.
Yes.
True. But it's like on the opposite side from the Pearl Hopes.
But if you wanted to cause, I don't know, a cascade failure of the calendar.
I mean, yeah, that's a thing. Let me ask something. Okay, so I just want to make one thing clear that I also that I just want to make sure.
Now, no one's stationed there. Just that their world lies in that space.
Their world lies in that space in Scattered Needles territory. Which was that around when the planet got brought over? Was it after Scattered Needles?
Scattered Needles was erected after the planet was taken over. It actually was commemorated for taking over this territory.
Because Jim at least remembers that Scattered Needles was where Jadao did his thing, right?
Right. We are 200 years prior to that.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Or 200 years prior or after?
Prior.
Okay. So that hasn't happened yet.
Right. Nothing has happened to the Fortress of Scattered Needles yet.
Oh, okay.
At the time that this planet
so
was
Jadao doesn't exist, and we don't.
Jadao does exist. You don't know he exists, but you know we are 200 years after Hellspin Fortress.
Oh yeah. Okay.
200 years before the events of any book that anyone has actually read.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. But the fortress. Sorry. The planet was brought into the Hex Archet before the Fortress of Scattered Needles was there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the territory
Okay.
was heretical then, and then the Fortress of Scattered Needles was built because it was a very long campaign to bring this particular section of space into the fold of the Hex Archet. So
Gotcha.
when they finished, they commemorated with the building of this brand new hex, this fortress.
Okay, got it. Here's the thing that I want to make sure is clear, and I want to make sure I understand. So, Rahal Lohan was from was from the Jensen family line.
Yep.
Rahal Fowler. Is Rahal Fowler also from this place, from this family line, or a different family line, different place?
I'd like you to make a roll.
Oh boy. Okay.
Actually making you work for it this time.
So
First roll of the night.
let me look at my things. So base roll, and I think I got this wrong last time. Base roll is 3d6. Yes, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, it's 3d6.
Okay.
Yep. Plus anything you tag that has to do with the thing that is happening.
Am I investigating? Am I currently investigating Fowler's Edge?
You might be. You might be investigating an edge.
So if I do that, then that gives me another 2d6. Let's see. So, looking at my signifier, people are not tools; they are instruments. I kind of see this to an extent as like I'm trying to figure out which orchestra this person belongs in. Would my signifier count here? Do we think?
I think so.
Okay. You get 2 for the signifier, or just 1?
Just
One.
Just
one
one,
die.
but if you succeed this roll, you get an experience point for using the signifier.
That's where it comes from. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. I noted I got an XP last time, and I realized that was one. Let's see. But my other edge is the cacophony ends, which I feel as though that there's been. I'm trying to reduce chaos here to try to figure this out. So I'm wondering if the cacophony ends applies.
Sure. Yeah, you were trying to reduce the absolute chaos of this web I sat down and wrote.
Absolutely. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I have that. I think those are the only things I can apply here. I'm not doing anything particularly. I'm not doing anything particularly strangely specifically involving our local calendar or anything like that. I don't think for this right now, aside from just preserving the whole goddamn thing, but that's its own thing. This gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice. Let's see what happens. Okay. Well, I have good news. I have 2 successes. 2
And a
ones.
6.
I do not have any 6s.
Okay.
Strangely,
That's
so I am strangely. I have
Strangely immune to assimilation.
yes. which is hilarious because that's almost to an extent goes with my well, it doesn't actually go with no. I should be. It's strangely counter to my concept. I should be doing a speed run of a simulation, and but
That's my job.
yeah. I know. But I got 2 1s. I got 2 successes.
Yeah. So with your 2 1s, you find some sealed files. You haven't opened them, but you find them, and they are directly and you know that they directly pertain to filial associations. Now, what you decide to do, if you decide to open them now or try to get someone else to open them, up to you. But you have found them. They were sealed away. You have found where they are to bring them to someone's attention.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so seal files on Rahal Fowler's parentage, yes?
Yes.
Or lineage. Okay. I cannot bring this. Unfortunately, I cannot bring this to our doctrine officer on this ship because it is that is the very connection I am looking to see if he exists, and we don't want to tamper things with that. So that's a thing. Okay, so no direct connection then that I'm aware of. These are on opposite sides of the Empire. Yeah, I'm aware. I think that. Oh yes, that's right. That connection I was about to have with things locally is that. Wait, has to do with Shuos Ko, who oversaw the. God damn.
The ordeal
of that family. So I mean that only gives us the local stuff.
In fair Hexarch, we lay our scene from ancient grudge. Break to new mutiny.
That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. So I have at this point like, okay, let me go back and look, and I will probably see that Shuos Ko is an engineer seconded here on the
Yep.
on the ship. So that's interesting. I mean, don't know if that's a coincidence or not. When was Shuos Ko seconded here? Does it say?
They were seconded here a month ago.
A month ago.
Yeah, a month ago. They've been here before a lot of the shenanigans.
They were strange for them to get. I mean, they've got to deal with that planet. Is it normal for them to? Is that a lot to handle? I mean,
this is a pretty unusual circumstance, even for the Shuos. But to call anybody to do something like this, and that's like going to be a particular outsider, because the Shuos have animosity towards the Onden. So. Because they used to be the same faction long time ago.
Yeah.
They aren't Rahal, they aren't Vidona, they aren't anybody else. They're just here.
Yeah.
And they are the second most seconded personnel outside of Rahal and Vidona for doctrine officers and security and things like that.
Yeah.
They are the second most seconded faction.
Probably, yeah. Although I imagine that someone should be minding they would have left someone to mind the store, I guess, with when it came to this whole Rahal thing they're overseeing. Or is that the kind of thing that would take like constant attention, or is that a thing you can kind of leave alone for a while and then come back to every now and then? Is that a thing you can do remotely?
Maybe if they're here, maybe they're just doing a check-in. Maybe they're doing interviews during the week. You're not sure if they're of how they're actually figuring out what the ordeal is or how they're adjudicating. They could, but you can almost be certain whatever the adjudication is, a game is going to be involved.
Yeah, probably.
Because Shuos love games.
No. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So I have found no direct connections between the them and the other thing. So there's not really nothing too terrible or unusual for me to look at with respect to that. I don't think, except I need to make sure they're not. Need to make sure they're not connected. So yeah, I guess that's. What I'm probably gonna do is I think Graydon is going to sit with this information a little bit and try to sort of turn it over in his head and figure out what he wants to do with it. But I will I will direct message Duncan of like, I know we're sitting at the same table, but
Yes, but now the mountain of pickled vegetables, it has been
Yeah.
guessing.
what do we know about Shua's Ko?
Nothing. Should I go and make an introduction?
I don't know how safe things are yet. But
In the direct missions, there is absolutely no safety here.
oh, not personal safety, that's not of course, but yeah. I need to untangle something. But I'd recommend
Well-
not making any direct intros right now.
All right.
Yeah. With
I
that,
shall
let's
refrain
see.
from introducing myself to Churros Co.
Unless you think you will be able to garner information, but I can almost
Oh,
guarantee
I
you.
can most definitely garner information. Whether that information is useful, that remains to be seen.
Yeah. Because I expect he certainly will.
Oh, it's
Is it? I'm
Churros.
sorry. Suyosko is what are
They
those
are
pronouns?
they them. They are considered an alt,
They,
so
them.
they are. Sometimes they use he, but that's just to confuse people.
Oh, okay.
It actually says that in their profile. He
Oh, great.
for confusion's sake.
Yeah. So actually,
So
well, so they'll certainly
they are
learn
here
something
to-
if you introduce yourself.
Well, again, I will learn things, whether they are useful. Again, it's a shoe ups. Most of the time, unless I am, back in my teaching days, they would behave. But nowadays, they get to a certain age, it's just all shadows, mirrors, doublespeak. Until I get the sandblaster.
I don't think we're quite there yet.
Oh, I didn't think so. That's step
not quite.
73.
Yeah. But I did hear there's a holiday for that coming up.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I'm just gonna sit with it, turn it around for a bit. So that's basically yeah. That's all I have right now, I think. Do we want to take a quick break? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Sure.
I apologize.
lot
My
happened.
paranoia has led us down this long track. I'm so sorry.
No, that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to get some water after explaining all of those chains.
Masterful chain, that is. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. I'm going to throw it to an interview, and we shall return in a little bit. See you soon. Welcome to the break. I am here with Drac, who is here to talk a bit about a podcast that he's involved in. Greetings.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm part of a very cool podcast called Cifrado's RPG. It's a mass campaign set in Canada in a fictitious town which I can't remember the name of now.
Let me see. I had it right here in front of me, and now, of course, it went away. The Cadence,
No,
British
you're good.
Columbia.
Cadence, yes. Which actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if it's fictitious. So don't quote me on that. But it's in Canada. It's set in Canada because our GM is Canadian and Erin.
Oh, okay.
But so essentially I always describe it as Sailor Moon plus pop idols mushed together. Very magical girl themed. We all have transformation sequences. A lot of fun. But the general premise of it is that we're all high school students at school who are part of a pop idol like after school group. And in this world, people who are really invested in, it's not just music, but I guess creation in general, end up manifesting superpowers. And they are often able to use the superpowers to enhance their creativity in some way. And ours in particular is like pop idols, music, stuff like that. And I play a character called Jaden a lot. He's British actually, because I'm just very bad at accents. So I decided I'm a British character who moved over to Canada because the schools there tend to be best for rising in pop idoldom. And that's the general premise of it. Obviously, I'm one of the main characters of many. Got some awesome people playing that I get to bounce off and play with all their own themes and tastes with their characters, which is very cool. My character, I took the very innocent and naive route with my character. So I just found that very fun, and hearing everyone else's characters, everyone else who was playing, they already have very much like a mean girl, the lead of the group, the kind of like fashionista. So I was like, I'm gonna be the guy who's just really sweet, almost to a fault, and is way too trusting and probably needs everyone's protection. Despite it being ridiculously powerful. I took the oh god, what was the playbook? I can't remember for the life of me. It's one of the most broken playbooks in my opinion. After the Doomed. The Doomed is pretty intense. I believe it is the Nova.
The Nova.
The Nova playbook. He's kind of like a cute little kid. He has ridiculous amounts of power, but is for the most part too scared and nice to use them. But he has been using them to create music with his friends, which it's been a very fun game to play with everyone. Unfortunately, very recently I had to step out of the podcast because I was juggling too many things.
Oh yeah.
So by the time you're probably watching this, the episode where I stepped away probably would have aired. But we left it open for me to return because I miss everyone already. But I also wanted to make sure I take care of my mental health and energy. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's been a ton of fun. It's really fun.
Cool. Well, yeah, Masks is a very cool game. We've done a series of it on this channel at some point, and it's just sort of neat, the idea, I think, of just sort of mixing the doing that superheroes as pop idols commentary thing that has been becoming more prevalent recently. But to do that in an RPG, very cool, and sort of combine that with a high school setting. I just can only imagine the kind of pressure that someone has got to be under.
It's pretty intense. There's one character, Vivi, who you quite literally that's their, I suppose, arc is specifically the pressure they put under. My characters, so we all have very much our own kind of thing going on with each character, where with the combination of superpowers, high school, and pop idoldom, and trying to make in either of those things. My Jaden Lot is very much a kid who thinks they have to grow up too fast. So the reason why they want to be a pop idol, not just because they enjoy it, because they do enjoy music, but they also want to become famous enough so they could provide for their parents, because they were like, oh, my parents work too hard, I want to make it easier for them. And I think as sweet as that is definitely a problem especially for a high schooler to have put that pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
And I thought that'd be a very fun thing to explore.
Yeah, no, very cool, very cool. It's definitely just the idea of a high school already is just this incubator for all of these things going on, and just to apply that much additional pressure is a lot. But it's neat to see that that's being played out there. I was just looking over at the website for the Super Idols podcast, and there's a lot of there's a lot of cool art on there.
Yeah, Monster Monster on Twitter, the absolute legend. They did art for us. We because we were going for a very magical girl theme. We fully have transformations. We have like descriptions of our transformation sequences. So on the website you can see our normal form and then our pop idol form when we transform. It's very cool. Jaden Lot, they let me go a bit wild with Jaden Lot. So Jaden's power I went with was controlling the elements, so fire,
nice.
wind, earth, and water. And now, actually, I won't spoil that, but a bit more later on as well. But with my costume, they allowed me to have it change color depending on what element I'm using.
Oh, nice.
So if you check the website, you can see the different variations of the outfits, of Pop Idol outfits that I have. It's very, they give us a lot of leeway with not just role play, but also the aesthetic and the art of it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been very cool.
That is neat. That's neat. And actually, yeah, if you go down and if you go onto the website and you click on cast, you can see all the character portraits. It's really cool. It's really cool just sort of seeing the art there. Really good, really good. And a lot of fan art on this site too, I've noticed.
Yeah.
You've accumulated.
It's been so weird. I think Super Idols was the first actual play I was a part of that got like not just fan arts, but also like just direct fan responses. I've had people tweet me and like at me directly on Twitter talking about things that they found fun or funny about Jaden in their listen through, and it's been very cool. It's been very interesting.
Excellent. And I love that idea. It's this tier that you're trying to get up to. And actually, as I was looking over the world building section, it looks like you're actually there's like you're at this apparently this high school that's not quite the big main high school that folks go to. Like there's an academy, but you're not at the academy, and so you're like just trying to that much even more pressure to compete well in a tournament and actually get we
actually have a bit of a rivalry with that academy, which has been very fun to play out as well.
Very cool, very cool. Well, if folks want to get a hold of this podcast, where should they go?
You can follow Super Idols RPG on Twitter. You can follow Erin Cerise, that's ERYNCERISE on YouTube. I believe it premieres there every third Sunday of the month, I believe. And you can also listen to it on anywhere you find podcasts. You can find it there as well. Excellent.
And where should folks go if they want to find you?
To find me, you can follow me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQES. You can follow me on Instagram as well, but I'll be honest, I'm not on there often. I'm trying to be on there more often, but I'm probably not going to be. Twitter is the best place to find out what I'm doing at any given moment and see what I'm up to, because it's honestly, I've been lucky enough for it to be constantly changing and updating, so keep an eye out there.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, folks, and we're going to throw things back to my future self, whatever the hell he's doing right now. So do take care, and we will see you all of a sudden. Hello, we have returned. If I think that it's probably unless there's something else Taste needs to be doing right now. I think I'm probably going to ping them.
Well, I
are you gonna
mean,
ping him.
Tace is, did not eat breakfast. Has been single-mindedly pursuing this strange mystery. I'm probably looking at the results of, extra super duper future science gas chromatography or whatever piped to my augment. But I would, I'd be simply, sitting around looking at that.
Okay.
So I could certainly answer your ping.
Okay. Raiden's gonna just upon pinging Taste will be like, do we have any information yet?
Oh, I'm just I'm looking at some results. I can have them to you soon.
Okay, good. There's there may be some additional data that I may ask you to pour over, depending. There's some maybe a couple of hoops I need to jump through to see just if I can get as much of the data as I need for this. But just let me know once you've got that when you're done with looking things over from last night.
I am at your disposal. I will have some preliminaries to report soon.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sir. Hollow, can you tell me anything about the chemical results that I get from this?
Okay, so the chemical results are fairly benign. However, the gum is made from not a rare sap, but a not often traded sap.
So just kind of obscure.
Obscure sap from the world of this.
Ah. Well, that world has no special significance to me,
Right.
Mirai Taste, so
Right.
I'll simply put that in my report.
Right.
And having done my Jim's freaking out over here. Having done my due diligence in both investigating this gum and doing my absolute best to alert people using the gum that they're being investigated, I will now take my results back to my apparent teammates. I'm still not overjoyed about this, but I know my duty. Gonna keep right on doing it. Can I ask one super small question?
Yeah, sure.
What happened to the gum when I woke up? Did I swallow it? Did it disappear? Do I assume that I swallowed it if it disappeared?
It's gone.
It's gone. Okay.
It's not in your hair. It's not in the
Okay.
bed. It's gone.
It's gone. Okay, that's cool. I might have swallowed it, but I don't feel any different. Actually, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty, like that's kind of a neat dream. Very weird, but I had a cool dream. So there's some, mild psychoactive nature of this, but I can't really, without going super deep into the properties of this sap, which might take, deeper analysis. I can't really speak to exactly what's going on there.
I mean, well, you can set that analysis to run directly on the SAP. That'll take a while because the grid resources are shared among the ship.
Right. This is not a high priority. If I were, I might try to fight for higher priority, but I don't think I need to do that. This is just kind of a weird side quest for me. So I'll just I'll probably I'll put together a report, much how Duncan put together a report. I've put a little, not exactly a PowerPoint, but just like, a PDF summarizing my results, and completely neglecting to mention that I consumed some of the gum, obviously. So just that's not necessary at this time. Various forms of analysis. I will say various forms of analysis, such as, and then I will go into the chromatography results. Anyway, I will continue analyzing the sap. So I'll send that to you. We don't necessarily need to meet in person. I'll just send it straight to you, and you can tell me what to do with it.
Unnecessarily. So upon receiving that, I'm wondering if we take a moment to pour over it. Do I happen to notice that the planet of origin of the sap?
Yep, you do.
Yep. Okay. All right. So an alarm bell goes off in Graydon's head once again. Graydon's like, oh, I'll be darned. Huh. All right. I'm going to send an inquiry to Duncan for a moment. Are you going to be busy for the next little bit? Do you have something?
have not begun starting my process of interviewing, so I'm currently free until that begins.
We need to. I need to. There are a couple of technical points I want to run. I'm thinking of running of what we've been discussing. That I was thinking of running by Ninefox. And I was wondering if perhaps you might want to be present for that.
Certainly, he seems so much more relaxed when I'm there.
Yes. You're a good influence, I think. Yeah.
Oh
Good
man.
influence. And I'm going to ping Ninefox because the thing is, we need to be somewhere where they can't. All right. Also in my PM to Duncan is be like, do you know of any places that we can meet and be as sure as we can of not being overheard?
Well, there are a number of places I can think aboard this vessel where that is a possibility. One is the interrogation room, to which I have more influence over. The other place where monitoring equipment doesn't really want to be would be in bio-waste processing.
Oh, that's definitely extra monitored. I mean,
It could be. Yeah. Well, let's start with the let's start with the interrogation room and then go from there.
you guys are gonna call Taste to the interrogation room, and there's
Yeah.
gonna be nobody there to interrogate.
Yeah.
you're gonna witness a meltdown.
So I was gonna say,
Anyway,
Tace, we need to. I'm just gonna ping Tace. We do need to have a little chat. There are some things I need to ask about.
sure.
Yeah, I need your
come meet you now?
expertise for something. Yes, we're going to be down in that the same room we were in last night, actually.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be.
I'll be right there.
Good. Excellent. See you in a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna, I guess, bring my suitcase of portable instruments just in case we're doing another potential heretic or something. I don't know what's up exactly. but I've been sticking absolutely to the letter of my duty and cannot think of any reason that I could be in trouble at this point. So this is
No.
cool. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I'll head straight down there. So if I get there and you guys are there and there's no one else there, I'm just gonna go
Oh, come in.
absolutely like sheet pale, like like oh okay. I brought my instruments.
Good. Actually, yes, we're gonna need
what-
those.
Okay. What did you think of the report that I
Come in first. Let me
sent you?
secure the outside.
It was very good.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay,
Make sure
Okay.
we're closed and secured. Yes.
okay.
Let's lock everything down, and we don't want people to hear anything. It could be unpleasant.
Mm.
So we'll just
Okay.
mute everything from in here to the outside. There, no more distress.
All right.
Yeah.
So there are some things that I was doing some searches on this morning that have kind of clicked with some other things, and then Tace sent you sent your report, and it enlightened me further. So there's I'm beginning to understand why we were more about why we were sequestered, apart from just sort of the general the usual process.
Oh,
As
it's
it seems.
something to do with his ship.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
Less
Oh,
mechanical and more a personality.
Somewhat, yes. Quite. So it there's some interesting possibilities regarding the situation, but I need to ask you if you're. I need to ask before I start talking about this ship's personnel in particular. Tace, are you familiar at all with the work of a particular Narai, Narai Wen?
well, how would I have any idea who this person is?
I mean, they are academically famous enough. Like, you've probably
Okay.
had a class based on, solely on one of their papers.
Or I mean, if they, well, no, okay, yeah, okay. So I probably, I mean, yeah, I took if we're talking about the same Nurai Wen, I took a course back in the academy about some of their psych work, but I can't say that I don't really know anything about that field, honestly.
Okay.
It's not my specialty.
Well, that's all right. They have thing being, they've that there's some we've uncovered some interesting things regarding what might be. See, here's the thing: the work. If we take a look at if we take a look back at the readings that you had from last night, and I'm sorry, I just noticed a thing. But there's this the idea that they can possibly create this. It occurs to me that some of there's a possibility. You see, with this creation of a secondary calendar seeming to copy the current calendar.
Oh, I mean, I maybe again, calendrical intricacies are not my specialty, but I just don't know why. I mean, I cross-checked this with, some colleagues and stuff, but I just don't understand why they would do that. I mean, that if that is indeed what's happening, then why just mimic the exact same thing?
Subtlety, or worse yet, someone trying to replace the calendar with their own.
Oh, yikes.
That's the thing, yes. They do that, and then they can start making subtle adjustments to it and shift things around.
Oh.
There have been some shifts in personnel, actually, quite recently on this ship.
I don't know if you are familiar with the intricacies of a ship's crew, or I taste, but usually a ship only has one quartermaster.
Okay.
This ship has two.
Okay.
And it's due to a series of familial ties that one is being promoted, and the other just so happens to be demoted for no applicable reason.
Indeed, it's
well.
rather like they're making their own hierarchy in a way, rather like in a way alongside the current one.
And this promotion was signed off by the commander, who just so happens to have a familial relation to the person being promoted.
Oh, that's a no-no. That's weird to hear even.
Weirder still is just how many children this one person whose two children are aboard this vessel.
Yes.
At least two. There may be more.
There may be other connections, yes.
How many kids does this person have?
Many.
So many.
Oh dear.
Enough to have folks on a number of vessels in positions of power.
Oh, like quartermaster?
No, I'm talking
The
Brigadier
vessels.
General.
Yes, that.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, sorry. I was still on the quartermaster thing, and I was like, I mean, that's
no,
a kind of power, I guess, but
Here on this vessel, it's
quartermaster and commander. So the person who is in charge of keeping the logs and the distribution of all goods aboard this vessel, and the person in charge of it.
Yeah, no, you're right about the commander thing. Yeah.
So if something was going to be hidden, you would need, hidden well. It's always good to have someone who is in charge, especially with how the Celt work. And then the person who's in charge of maintaining the books of all inventory and the distribution of said inventory, being one who is part of this possible conspiracy.
Now, this the thing is that this individual that was apparent to a bunch of these, to a number of these folks that we are talking about, also has a previous marital connection with Narai Wen. And Narai Wen's child also is on board this vessel.
Okay.
One of the technical officers, Lan.
Oh, okay. It's like, well, I don't want to throw Lon under the bus here. But I mean, I didn't really get a lot of names. I've been hanging out with the Nurai a little bit, but I mean, I guess a cinder moth. You said there was a brigadier general.
Yes.
That would be like a that would be like a cinder moth level commander or something, right? I mean,
and
that's
then you have a commander of a banner moth, and then you have another child that's on another banner moth, and the person in question is, let me see here, what is this talking currently? Oh yes, doctrine officer to a Nexus fortress.
Oh, that's Yeah, that could be an issue.
Hmm.
I said calendrical intricacies aren't really my specialty, but I wonder if your, august personages have pointed out already that cinder moths being, the biggest ships in the Hex Arcade actually project their own calendrical stability.
I
They have a
didn't
role.
necessarily know that.
They have a role in maintaining the calendar. They
Oh,
have their
so
own. They have their own observances, and
there's
Ah,
Yeah.
two
yes.
points in which
Good.
one of this familial line has influence. At least two.
So
yeah.
there's another connection I need to talk about that I've not actually discussed at all yet, which has to do with the hell. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure until I saw your report, Dace. See, the planet that the sap comes from. This ship's doctrine officer comes from that planet.
Okay.
And
I mean, I could be a coincidence, but I mean, this is a lot of coincidences
Yes, and
together.
the other thing that's interesting to note is that planet's history.
yes,
It was
it's on the opposite end from the fortress that we've been discussing.
yeah,
Uh,
precisely
have
the
on
opposite
one.
end of the empire,
Yeah.
and that planet was part of a rather robust purge.
Hmm. Rather, rather robust means absolute unimaginable levels of violence.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of saying that, out of character and stuff. But yeah.
Uh, so on the one
Oh
hand,
man.
you have where Nirai Wen has been operating around Pearled Hopes, and then on the other side, the far end, Scattered Needles.
Yeah.
And then between twixt them, you have a very large moth that produces its own cylindrical field. And we know of one
yes.
so far.
Yes. There are how many cinder moths are there? Well, I probably wouldn't know that
Well,
in character.
and in character, since you are a moth technician, you would
I'm a
know
moth
that.
technician. There's a
Yeah,
bunch.
yeah, that in this era of the Hexarcha, there are actually 10 cinder moths in in play right now.
Okay. There are 9 more cinder moths.
So
I
this
suppose that
possible conspiracy controls at least or influences at least a tenth of what is produced calendrically mobily.
yes.
And that's just what we've uncovered so far. This is you can see how this might be concerning.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning. Yes. What do you want me to do
I was
about
wondering
it?
if you might have any thoughts on further analysis of this either this moth's activity or of the
Substance in question.
of data regarding this this possible this calendrical echo that is not probably an echo.
Well, I started running an analysis on the staff because the last time we communicated, it was just, hey, go analyze this gum. So I think maybe I was
Oh
not
yes. Well, we
seeing the
weren't.
bigger picture here.
Well, neither were we at the
Uh,
time. No.
mm,
Again, it was only during my morning exercises that I started looking at the duty rosters, as well as just who's aboard the vessel, getting ready for my interviews, of course,
mm.
and saw this anomaly, and then dug a little bit into why this anomaly was occurring, and saw that it had ties to the Rahal, and thus gave it to the expert to dig deeper.
So there's Rahal involved too.
Yes, that's the
But
that's the thing.
the
That's
doctrine
the-
officer aboard
Oh,
the
okay.
Pearl's Nexus Fortress is the one that's
Oh,
married with
yes.
his kids.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I missed that part. This seems wildly out of my league. I am not sure. Do you want me to? Wait, I don't know. Contact my superiors and ask them to provide a more extensive calendrical analysis here,
Actually,
or
what I would love for you to do is, because of your specific area of expertise and how this heresy may impact our current vessel, is to see if one of your superiors wouldn't mind sending a science vessel to rendezvous with our current vessel, just in case we need to beat a very quick retreat.
that.
Hmm.
I don't love the implications of that. But
Yeah.
that might be
And just sort of look
something.
look askance a little bit. Yeah. Think it's gone that far, yeah?
Considering that
Uh.
we're looking at a commanding officer, the possibility of some of the science and engineering crew aboard this vessel, and at least one of the quartermasters is most certainly compromised in my view. It may be that my persuasive and jovial nature will be misinterpreted by those above us and cause them to act faster and thus more violent.
Fair, fair. Yeah. So there are a number of individuals that we need to be looking into, and I mean that's just been uncovered thus far. I've got further research I can possibly do, and other individuals I should probably contact for, who have more authority than I on certain things. But I don't want to use the chain of this ship. You see, and need.
All right.
I need.
Well,
I need to contact a higher Rahal outside of this system, and probably a higher Shuos as well. Unfortunately, there's a Shuos that's been seconded here, Ko, who also is possibly indirectly caught up in this. We're supposed to be monitoring the situation with the this ship's doctrine officer's family, their planet, and coincidentally, they were relatively
Seconded
recently
To this
seconded here.
vessel.
Yes.
here, yeah. I think I saw Ko down in the common area where many of my colleagues tend to meet. But I have not interacted with them directly. What you're talking about is, I'm not saying that I don't want to do it. I'm just saying that this could be, this is kind of circumventing Kel Command, and I don't know exactly, all of our communications go out through the communications of the ship. I don't have any super secret. I wouldn't be surprised if the Shuos has something, but I don't have any cool extra sciencey way to reach out to my superiors without going through the ship itself.
Oh, so you're looking for subtlety. I see.
Well, you're talking about sending another vessel that. Well, maybe subtlety isn't necessary. Maybe I could just be like, "Hey, I saw this this anomaly. Can you guys send someone who is better at this to study it?"
Well, not just that, but this anomaly you can. There is a saying amongst us Vedona that the truth matters, but the truth can always be embellished.
Okay.
And as such, yes, we are dealing with an anomaly. Yes, it would be excellent to have the expertise of someone who is more experienced in this particular field of study. And this anomaly, whilst subtle, could be something that says, like, the math could cause a catastrophic failure
Mm.
of maybe the life support aboard this vessel. So having something that, could be used as a lifeboat in case there is a catastrophic failure in investigating this anomaly would be of utmost help.
Okay, I can do that. I have already been, obviously using the ship's science facilities to do some analysis, so it would not be strange for me to request further orders and or backup from my superiors. So I will compose a message.
Excellent.
I can do that right now if you just maybe
On your time, by all means,
be
don't need to rush. I would just definitely forward your current findings
Mhm.
with the anomalous cosine wave.
yes.
With that report, and maybe stress that, in the opinion of yourself and some of your colleagues, that this co-calendrical anomaly is proving to be far more consistent
Mm.
than first suspected.
I could find a way to phrase that. Yes.
Excellent.
As you all are conversing about this, a voice from the corner says, "Damn, huge if true."
I scream and jump like 3 feet away. Ah!
I guess that's the Shuos on board. Hello.
How did you? Were you there the whole time?
You'd have to define the whole time. As they come out of the corner, flipping a coin, they have red hair that matches their red and gold uniform. It is tied back in a ponytail that stops at the end, and then unless their long straight hair kind of flare out at the bottom.
I'm sorry, red and gold uniform in the corner. This room isn't very big. They just
You're right.
they have an invisibility cloak or something. Like none of us noticed that.
No, you noticed
Nobody?
them.
Oh.
All right, well that's extra terrifying. That means the Shuos could be behind me at any moment and I wouldn't know. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
that's a thought. So I'm just I'm next to the door vibrating. I don't know how you guys want to interact with this person, but I am coming down
It's just-
from a severe terror spike.
Taste. I had Shuo sneaking up on me when they were like in kindergarten. This is nothing new. It's just I don't have the natural reflex anymore to immediately, take whatever soft, blunt object I have to immediately bat them.
May I ask who we have the honor of addressing?
Well, I mean, you've been talking about me. I'm Shuo's cup.
Do you have any thoughts about what we've been talking about that you'd
I mean,
care to
this is-
express?
Well, big if true. Sounds like that my little ordeal that I got paid to do is now a whole big kerfuffle, and I hate that.
Well, we need to. Would you mind if we ask a few questions about your ordeal?
I love questions.
So, you find it at all unusual then that what was used to make the gum we've been talking about comes from the same planet as the folks you've been monitoring?
Nope, I don't find that weird at all. But you'd have to look at some locked files to find that not weird.
Ah. Yeah, I did you happen to note the a couple of locked files that I managed to get a hold of a little while ago?
Well, I know that you seem like a very polite young man and don't go around unlocking files willy-nilly. So
True. I presume that that these files would provide some degree of would shine some light on this current little conundrum we've been mulling over.
Shed light. That's a good way. That's a weird way of putting that. I would say that it would illuminate you, maybe edify you, but shed light. I think things will become murkier, honestly. But you will be fortified for it for more trudging through the mud.
So when you say you love questions, what you mean is you love giving answers that don't mean anything.
Hey, wait, my answer meant a whole lot. It's all about your ability to infer.
Well, we've hit on something that is one thing that may cause Graydon to lean slightly toward heresy, because the truth is being held secret, and that's kind of his. And so he's mulling that. He's trying to make a decision about it, and he's like, I think that it would be that the truth would be helpful in this situation.
Many would. Or are you that kind of person? Are you part of that many?
Well, let me ask you something.
Absolutely.
If there are a couple of files that currently I haven't opened or
Sure.
had opened as of yet.
Sure.
If you were to open them up, provide their contents for whatever reason, then would you be requiring something in exchange for that?
Yeah, you have to beta test my game. No one's bid on it.
Was that I did see there was an announcement coming over earlier. I'm going to scroll back, and
COD game.
The Phantom and the Hunter.
Yes, that is the new game I just made last night.
What a coincidence.
And just kind of glancing over the rules.
Identify and capture the Phantom.
Uh,
Would this apply it possibly have any relation to whatever my esteemed colleagues are trying to run down conspiracy wise?
Does this game have to do with that?
Shrug. Meh. The answer is meh.
But I think that if you are a person that is all about fortifying one's mind and enriching oneself, I think that this game would be especially enriching. If you are the type of person to want to look at files and play my game.
You just sort of will, as I'm sort of scanning over the. Do I get to pick which role I play?
You can play either one. You can be the Phantom or the Hunter. What speaks to you?
No, the Hunter.
Okay. Wolves do hunt. I like that. As a fox, I will be a Phantom.
Oh, are we playing it right now?
Well, we don't have to play it right now, but he says, I'll feed you some location cards, and let's just say there might be files on this slate. Who's to say?
How soon do we have to disembark for the actual mission that we were? By the way.
Well, it was going to take you some weeks to get there, so you are kind of in we're in this kind of day-to-day time.
Okay.
So
yeah. So we'd have time to play some tarot based card games, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Graydon's just going to say, all right, I'll play your game.
May I suggest a different venue than my interrogation room?
You know what? I love that. We will find a venue at your leisure. And behind him, a fox-shaped servitor kind of wheels about and goes to a different corner of the room and opens a panel. Ta-ta! As they walk to the corner and, just like a drama, as they zip line upwards into the panel.
That is in character and out of character. What?
You just keep wondering, should I send him the files or does he already know?
Well, he has said that there might be files on a slate he has placed on the table for you.
Yeah, they have clearly are fully aware of all of your investigations at this point.
Yeah. Wait, this table? The table in this room?
Table in this room. Maybe you.
My God.
My God.
I shall look down at the table in this room.
I lean against the wall and I just kind of slide down it until I'm just sitting on my heels and I'm just like, shoes.
I see I need to have my copy, the dictionary, on hand like I was back when I was teaching.
For bludgeoning purposes.
Yes.
Whole ass dictionary. Bam. That's a step above nuns and rulers, that's for sure. But
you want something that has a good amount of surface area so you don't break anything.
Slapping. I see. The Nurai don't really do that, but they have their own deeply unpleasant forms of correction. So
I've never been a fan of step 57 on the pathway to truth. Electricity interferes too much with speech centers.
I will take your word for that. I was starting to relax a little bit. Now I'm going back up into oh yeah, this guy's terrifying. Shit. Yes. I am so glad we're on the same side, Duncan.
Of course.
Whatever side that actually is at this point, because I don't even know right now. What is going on? I am so confused.
A search for truth.
That, that's something I can get behind.
Oh, great calendar. Tell us what is on the table.
On the table is a data slate. They aren't archaic or anything like that. They just with having a data slate is just kind of like a secondary form of data perusal. But this data slate is, one, not connected to the grid. Two, has said files on them already open, so you can read at your leisure.
Are these
they're the two same files. However,
that's what I thought.
Before you look, it asks you, "Are you sure you want to read?"
please scroll through this massive end user license agreement and check this box.
No. Shuos invented the end user license agreement.
Absolutely.
This is yep. This is my heresy, so of course I will say yes.
All right.
I must
So,
know.
Please note that you are indulging in your heresy in front of your teammates.
That's fair. I'm actually wondering
Yeah, but
if that's,
is it like overtly heresy though?
It's little. The thing is, as a 40K fan, there are two forms of heresy. There is lowercase h and uppercase h. Right now, our friend Graydon is participating in lowercase h heresy.
That's fair. I'm going to. Does it look like anyone is? Do I look? Does anyone look uncomfortable when I pick up the tablet?
No, this is the search for truth that Duncan was just talking about. This makes total sense. I would read it.
Duncan is his usual cheery self.
just roiling behind that face. No, this is you're doing this in pursuit of your duties and your investigation. That's
although
absolute
actually,
slam dunk to me.
A quick thing I do need to check on is that are we conscious of our heresies?
I mean, you are conscious that this might put you outside of the norm, but it's your defining trait. Everybody has something going on personally in the Empire. It's about how much assimilation you are willing to withstand, for or against your own idiosyncrasies.
Okay.
Also, by doing this, congratulations, you get 3 XP.
Yes.
Oh, good. Do I get the XP specifically for doing it in front of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
When our teammates observe us, it's a whole thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then in that case,
yes, absolutely.
I'm going to just basically pick it up and was like, this could be very important to our all I'm going to say is just saying this could be very important to our investigation. We have to be extremely careful. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like completely the way this is going on, but we have very few options right now.
The path to truth is often difficult and messy.
Fair enough. Bing.
All right. You are sure. So what you get is a story about Jensen Fowler.
Fun.
Jensen Fowler grew up on the world of this and was a determinant for the Rahal Academy. Nearly didn't make it due to a bout of fever that came on quite suddenly. But in their feverish state, they managed to crawl their way to the entrance exams and pass their entrance exams into Rahal Academy.
Whilst having a significant fever. That's intriguing.
Jensen's family owns a significant orchard on this. This orchard has a number of trees. They are arborists. And they are only found in this particular region of this.
Gum trees?
Some apple trees, some fruit trees, some gum trees, some cacao, some cacao-like bushes, They also supply a surprising amount of recaf or coffee to Kel.
Oh, lovely. The thing that the Kel are all addicted to.
Yeah, I presume we're all huddled around looking at this, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm peering over your shoulder.
Is a deniable distance away.
Plausible deniability.
And is just reading your reactions.
Oh, okay.
So you crouched
Let's
over
just-
this tablet and me peering
yeah.
over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, woo.
Yeah, so it's just Graydon and Tace reading
woo.
this directly right now. Okay.
Yeah,
I have absolutely no idea what's going on because you described all of this to me in like very vague terms, and so I'm just like, oh, that's a name. Okay, that's the planet. Okay, cool. But I'm reading your reactions too, and every time you're like gasp, I'm like gasp.
Good gods, it is Julian and O'Brien. I love it.
After Fowler took the name Rahal, like all do after going to academy, receiving your marks, he started a very heated, vehement campaign against the other members of his family on the planet, because he is absolutely certain that the sudden illness he contracted came from them. And this has started sort of a feud, because he has rights on the planet Vis. However, he has formerly, disowned that part of his life, except for all of his holdings on that planet. So much so that this information obviously is sealed inside of these documents that you're reading.
Yeah. Okay.
Denied his family, but not his holdings.
Yeah.
The family that was vehemently pro-hexarchy.
Yeah.
He thinks that they are a false flag. Actually, he sent a request to the Vedona for an inquest during the last remembrance, because clearly these people are just fair weather friends and have no true allegiances to the Hexarchy.
Dang.
Okay.
The last remembrance being the one we started the game with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that was super just burning your mind what's going on here. Sometimes literally if you're one of the victims.
Yeah. These
So
are the
yeah,
requests
he
for
won
now.
for the Vedona to do an inquest on his family members on the planet, the ones that could contest his holdings.
Yeah. Wait. So hang on. That transmission we watched was from Vis?
No, it wasn't
No.
from Vis. Just that he wanted the inquest to align with the day. Maybe his family could all get rounded up and turned into heretics.
I see. Okay.
Especially
Well.
since, it's not that there is a quota, but the remembrances do require heretics in order to.
You got to break a few eggs to make a calendar.
Well, again, if you look hard enough, there is a heresy to be found.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you have to get to step 200 to find it, but find it you will.
All these steps are so scary.
Now, I mean, of course, that inquest was denied on the grounds that the Jensen family has done nothing but delivered proud Rahal into the Hexarchate service.
I see.
But they have been kept at a distance internally by the Rahal. So, this petition for more responsibility, he seems to have some sway, probably due to many ties that he's made over the years. To demand an inquest. He couldn't force the inquest, but he could demand one. So the only potentially neutral actor here actually might be the Fox.
Yeah.
She was just looking into it due to the drama.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, this is peak familial drama. This is messy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It is.
It's like, that's why I said, that's why the show said it's like a drama as he left.
It is.
Welp.
Huh. Well then. I'm sorry. Is there more?
No, that is from those files. That is a story that's painted for you. A deep familial hatred, holdings on a planet, connections to the gum trees, to the gum sap trees. It's all laid out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Something's laid out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like, all right. Well, if this is to be trusted, then I just sort of look up. Well, I've got seeing that Duncan has been maintaining a distance. So, would you like to hear good news or bad news?
If there's something of import that you think I should know, by all means.
That's not an answer to that question at all.
Are you interested in potential motives in what in this matter we've been discussing?
Motives rarely matter.
Oh, okay. Well then, that being the case, all I have is bad news in that the to a certain extent then, because then what we've got happening here is it's likely to only be emanating from the one side of things rather than both, as we might have feared.
Oh, so you're telling me that Fowler has ties to this?
Yes,
I see.
but it's a curious thing because actually, here's the problem. Here's the problem that I'm trying to come up with. He's disowned himself. How is he getting the gum?
Well, he's disowned himself publicly, but he still owns things.
He still owns things. Okay, all right. So
yes,
he's still,
and he has also sealed a lot of the records, seemingly for his connections to the Jensen line.
Okay. There is every chance that this ship's doctrine officer is not necessarily so much a participant as a target.
Well, would you like to put that theory to the test?
Oh, what do you propose?
Well, if he is a target, all that would need to happen is a small information leak. Not enough to make them think that any of us are onto something overtly large, but just large enough that us rank 1 members of our particular factions would love just an individual to pin everything. And have one of the Kel or other members try and pin a particular nasty bit of work on our doctrine officer that would deliver him straight into my hands.
You're talking about framing someone.
I'm talking about putting out information that will force the hands of the guilty to frame someone.
Oh, okay, I understand.
There's
I guess
extra steps.
Yeah. I see it now. I guess I just didn't. I don't know. I guess I just don't know that much about how the Vidona operate. I guess there's more intricacy there than I expected. That's
Again,
yeah.
I operate most of the time with just the 500 steps to cylindrical truths. However, there is a document of the 3,000 steps that is occasionally very much used in the course of investigation.
Oh, that's so terrifying.
All right, you're suggesting
okay.
you're suggesting triggering a frame up and then what? And then watching
Well,
the frames.
the the doctrine officer will be delivered to my tender mercies, and in the minds of the guilty parties, their frame up was a success. But in finding the individuals that accused and made the doctrine officer their patsy, we will have an idea as to who amongst the crew are the triggermen of this conspiracy.
I see.
And then we just follow the web.
Well, I mean, I think it's probable that we're going to find some of the individuals we already know about. That could flesh out additional ones, perhaps.
It could give us a few more, and it also could lead us to find out by possibly the right case, if you could whip up something that would observe communications aboard the vessel.
Well, I guess I would say that's usually more of a Shuos thing, but I did some stunt hacking back in the academy. And I'm really curious about this now. I'll see what I can do.
That sounds fantastic. That way we have more tangible evidence should things come into question.
Sure.
I'd recommend then. I don't like engaging in deceit for this, but I will say that I will recommend that whatever portion of information is put out here, that it not be something so severe that they necessarily that they go beyond, that they necessarily go beyond what you're saying, what they're suggesting, some kind of a frame up. We don't necessarily want them to attack anyone physically.
I doubt they would with myself on board and already having put one Kell in the brig.
You are the only Vidona here.
And considering my most cheery and public demeanor, I am certain that the crew trusts me to do my job should it ever come to pass.
Fair. Well, that's fair. That's true. It is. It would be that's true. That's something that they would consider.
If they want someone most thoroughly gone and out of their hair, this is what you do. Again, deceit is a noxious tool, most often used by heretics. However, it is a tool, and sometimes must be used in the pursuit of truth.
Okay. Yeah. I'm agreeing with the Vidona. I don't know what's happening, but yeah.
You should feel awful.
I'm just like, man, I guess that's my job now. Okay.
All right. All right. Well, I suppose we should be on the lookout for things then.
Yes, as well as make it so that certain information leaks, probably more about our investigation, not necessarily into this strange dual quartermaster situation, but more about the gum and who has possession of it and who is distributing it. If they think that we don't know of necessarily the larger familial ties, they'll try and tie up our investigation with a suitable sheep.
Yeah.
All right. I think that ending things on the beginnings of the frame up is a good place to stop for tonight. Next time we will see how framing a motherfucker with another motherfucker works out.
Oh, oh my God. There's so much. There's so much here.
I love it.
Yes, no, this is so much. This is great. This is great. Okay. That being the case, then, whilst I'm recovering from all of this, we're starting to figure out. Let's go ahead and go around and do our outros, as we are initiating a frame up, or preparing to. Good God. So there's so many implications. This is great. This is honestly great. So feel free to tell folks where they can find you and any final thoughts you have about this session. Plug whatever you like, etc. And we shall start with Hollow.
Hey, I'm Hollow. You can find me on Blue Sky at Hollow Invective. Right now, I am doing this, and also Alas for the Angry, Alas for the Angry Void. Yes. Awful Void. Yes, Awful Void. Yes. Wow.
Awful Sea Angry Void.
Awful Sea Angry Void. Yeah. So, and there I play Jackson Mead, a purveyor of canned goods, ham mostly. Hey, sometimes you sell a ham or 20, or you try to move the most powerful chess piece on the board. So yeah, you can find me there on Sundays quite regularly, and if people have other actual play opportunities, let me know.
Yes, definitely, folks. Hollow is wonderful. Please, please consider for such things, because excellent. And this whole thing, this has been wonderful, and I am enjoying every moment of this. So this is great. I do love sort of noirish puzzles. This is wonderful. So let us head over to Ewan.
Sure. I'm Ewan. I play Neurites. You can find me nowhere in particular. I don't do this a whole lot, but I'm having a great time and I'm happy to be here. Betty and I, say hi, Betty. She and I were watching a moth flit around the room pretty much this whole session, which I thought was highly appropriate, so I wanted to bring it up. That's about it for me.
It is a sign.
The sign. Yes.
Excellent. And finally, over to Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Build on the internets. If you want to see more of my silly face, be back here next week, as my face is in reserve for Vampire Dark Ages over on Practical Gore Thesmophoria, Sunday nights, 8 p.m. As we're going to switch from Team Low Clan, which I'm a part of, who have been just, very subdued, much more political. Next week is Team High Clan, also known as the group that decided to use abyssal magics during an Elysium.
Oh shit! All right.
And this is the Dark Ages. So yeah, they come back after unleashing that, and it being felt all the way from Palermo to Siracusa. So yeah, you can see the ramifications of that on Sunday night, and then afterwards, both teams take a break, as the political ramifications of all this stuff going on. We will see two princes over the course of 2 weeks and their reactions to everything before we get back towards the end of the month with Team Low Clan. Nothing is going to hurt Team Low Clan. Absolutely none of this is going to cause irreparable harm. So if you love vampire or you love like period fantastical drama, if you love your historical fantasy, please come on by. Also, if you like something almost as messy as what we're doing, and actually surprisingly far more violent, I can suggest tomorrow night over on Laugh Love Lindy at 8 p.m. Reading Between the Lines, where you will also find someone who set up a very messy dynastic family by having a multitude of bastards. By the name of Earl Grey. God rest his soul. So by all means, and again, if we've learned nothing over these years, you need good people in your life. These are all good people. Follow them in what they do, hire them, give them work, please. And thank you all so much for being here. We're live VOD YouTube. A story is nothing without its audience. You're much part of this as we are. Take care of yourselves and one another, and I'll see you soon.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. Wow. There's so much happening. But who am I? Great question. For the time being, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. Wherever I'm not OtherDoc, I'm Jim Yes That Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. If you're watching live on Twitch, down below you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things. As previously stated, on Sunday afternoons when we have folks available and real life isn't wailing into us, I run Alas for the Angry Void, which is a gothic sci-fi hack of Alas for the Awful Sea. A lot of stuff has been unleashed. We're actually, I think, getting closer to the end of the campaign. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot happening. But there's also, we're actually, I had to think about it, and we're pretty close. We're within just a few sessions, like very few sessions. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And of course, let's see, on Thursday, it should be this week. If Lucci, my friend Lucci, is available, he and I will be back playing another old text adventure game. You can watch us bash our heads against the wall for a while, for anyone who might be interested in that. It'll probably be Starcross, actually, which I have the box just sitting over there. It's actually one that I used to own physically, that we're playing. I mean, I think I owned all of them at one point, but that's one where I still have it. So we'll be getting into that. And then, of course, on Tuesday nights, we have more of this. And so I'm very much looking forward to, there's already so much that's happened, and there's still a good amount of campaign to go. So I am very excited to see what shall come of things. But in the meantime, when we hit the end card, we're going to send a raid over to somebody. It's probably going to be either like Neon Lights or Stella Luna. There a lot of people are streaming right now. So we're going to go say hi to someone. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them with us. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.